Hi students, so this is the video that you're going to watch that gives you some examples, some visuals for what absolute poverty looks like. You are also going to hear a representative of the UN Habitat program. He has a very thick Swedish accent, but he will be speaking in English, and I've got the captions on, so hopefully the captions will be correct when he's speaking. But he's going to be talking about slum conditions according to the way that the UN Habitat program defines a slum. And those conditions, with the definition that he provides to you of those conditions, that describes absolute poverty worldwide. That describes the $1.25 or less per day that the World Bank identified as being in absolute poverty conditions. So you need to take notes on this short segment of the video that we're going to watch. It's only about 8-9 minutes long of the section, but I'm going to be stopping it and explaining a few things to you as we go along. If the captions aren't correct, there's some really thick accents for some of the people who are taking you on a tour through the slum conditions. But you need to pause this video anyway, because there's going to be a 5-part definition that this fellow at the very beginning of the video is going to give you for the slum conditions, and that describes absolute poverty situations. That describes a situation in which life chances for subsistence do not exist in a secure way. So this video is called A Slum Insight. You'll find the longer version of it in my YouTube channel in the playlist, but we're just going to watch one little segment together. So here goes.
What does it mean to live in slum? United Nations Habitat Program has a clear definition. Slum is the failure to meet one or several of 5 basic needs. Number 1, every family needs a durable house that can withstand a rainstorm. Number 2, everyone needs sufficient space for their family so that every member have a place. Number 3, families need secure tenures. They must have the right to their home, and they must be protected against sudden eviction. Number 4, every family needs safe water that doesn't transmit diarrhea. And finally, number 5, safe sanitation. That means everyone needs some sort of a decent toilet. But now, let's follow the real experts. We shall listen to the slum dwellers themselves, how they explain these 5 basic needs.
This is somebody's house. The way it has been built is not that good. You can see for yourself.
My house. I sleep there.
So
We
it's
are
really
7.
dark here, but
Some are
she's
sleeping,
saying there's
yeah.
7 sleeping here. You can barely see some bunks in there. This is the toilet. That's the toilet. There's the kitchen.
We believe that soon or later this will be history for the people living, for the slum dwellers, and for the people who are poor. The roof, as you can see, is not that well. The water just gets inside as if there is no roof. This is also somebody's house. The wall itself was curtained. There's no even iron sheet in the walls. We used to live in this house, but after flood, we shifted. There was a house constructed at this place, but they were swept away. We would like, and we are really hoping to see one day when things are changed, and when this slum will no longer be a slum.
Okay, so let me pause it right there, back it up for just a second. and
I
play
have
it
also slept
again.
at this place, but
So remember, subsistence means you have the ability to provide yourself with sufficient shelter, and other subsistence basics also. So he was saying that his house used to be right there, but it wasn't sufficient shelter because a rainstorm came and it blew away. So that's describing absolute poverty conditions, which are life-threatening. You won't necessarily absolutely die in absolute poverty, but your life is in danger because of the conditions that you live in. And I wanted to pause it here because they have set up this slum right beside a water source, but look how dirty the water source is. This is where people do everything, like washing their clothes, washing themselves, defecating in this river. And where would your water source come from? If you were, for subsistence, you need potable water. This is not potable water. Let me play a little bit more, and let's talk about infrastructure.
we would like
Okay, so this stack of stuff, pile of stuff back here, this is refuse and filth and garbage. This is not just clothing or plastics or whatever you see right there. It's filthy, terrible stuff. And in our society, we have infrastructure in place, which, trucks come and they take this kind of thing to a landfill. The slum does not have that kind of thing, so there's not proper sanitation.
and we are really hoping to see one day when things are changed and when this slum will no longer be a slum.
So let me pause this for just a second and make sure that you know this word tenure. It's not a sociology specific word. It's just a good college level vocabulary word like we talk about from time to time for you to add to your vocabulary. Tenure means that you have a right to something. So when it's talking about secure tenure, if you have a lease on an apartment or a mortgage that you pay monthly and you keep up your end of the agreement, other people are supposed to keep up their end of the agreement too and let you live there according if you're fulfilling the terms of the rental or the mortgage purchase agreement. You have tenure to stay in that place if that's the case. So tenure is just a general word that means you have the right to something. Secure tenure means that you would have the understanding that you are safe with the right to be where you are. So this next section is going to show you a situation in which a woman does not have life chances for secure tenure of her shelter.
That morning, we just saw a tractor coming, and we were stranded. What happened? We stood aside to see what these people were doing. They had told us that they will evict us from here, but we were not believing it. Now it happened that day came and everything was being demolished. So we had no alternative. We just stood aside and saw our things, our properties were demolished and everything was removed from this place. So we had to look alternatives, and I had to move from here, look for another house somewhere else in Kianda area.
The poverty is too much. People are not having jobs. Sometimes I do wash clothes for people, for my neighbors, and get a living. If I get some money, I pay for the house rent. If I get some money, we bake some food and eat. But really it's very difficult for a man like me.
Okay, so this next part is going to show you a family And of course, there's going to be dependent children who rely on the parents for their subsistence. And so the kids are sick because of the unsanitary conditions that have to be, that they have to endure. There's a life chance for water, but is a life chance for potable water good enough to save the life of somebody when the sanitation, is the water safe enough? Is there enough sanitation available, proper sanitation available to save somebody's life?
Cage, and she's Esther, and I have my beautiful girl, Sophie. Come. I have my beautiful girl, she's called Sophia Atieno Cage, the first one, and I have another one here, it's called Melvin, and at this time now, he's on medication. See how it is. All the loose people are doing.
So he's taking you on a tour of the public toilet uphill from his makeshift house. So that
now I see.
This is the outhouse you're about to see. That, and it's running down through the ditch that it's made in between those shacks.
People are doing, and then they're coming out, doing like this.
Yeah. So his kids are sick because all that is human waste. Going up underneath the walls of the house.
All the people who are coming from this place, they are diarrheaing because of the kind of situation.
Yeah, he said they have diarrhea because of that kind of situation. So he's not able to provide with proper shelter to shield that. His little baby's sick.
And I know she's going to be well.
His little baby's sick because of it. We're going to end this segment at a funeral with a tiny coffin because absolute poverty is life-threatening. And that's not just a threat. The threat happens. It actually is realized sometimes. And so his baby didn't make it because of the slum conditions, because of absolute poverty conditions. And I want you to notice how many little tiny itty-bitty graves, little tiny graves, are pre-dug in this cemetery because the babies are coming. They're coming. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more in addition to the one where his baby was buried. You don't dig just one, you dig a whole bunch because they're coming because of absolute poverty conditions. So that's the only little bit of this video that you need to watch to get an idea of what absolute poverty looks like. And then you also have another segment of another HBO documentary video that is in my YouTube channel that you've got the counter for, the link for, and then the counters of what segment you need to watch. On that, I won't be with you to watch that one because it's a little bit longer and it's got a whole bunch of different references that you can use to understand relative poverty in the other video. What you've seen here is absolute poverty, and we will talk about it in class together when we see each other again next week. It's a serious situation that we're talking about when poverty is a life-threatening issue like this. So I know that this video wasn't an enjoyable thing to watch, but hopefully the education that you got from it is going to stick with you for a long time and makes some of this, hopefully it makes some of the discussion, all the talking points that we've had in class, hopefully it makes some of it real. You know, it's more than just notes that you are taking from me just talking all the time. So we're talking about real people, real conditions right now, contemporaries to ourselves. So I will see you soon.